It seems like you don't feel emotionally supported during this podcast.
Well, there's always bullying going on in one direction or another, but that's fine.
Show and Sell.
Hello and welcome to Show and Sell, the show that celebrates digging through other people's trash.
Oh, it's getting worse and worse.
I can't.
Yes, all better and better.
This new register has just has broken my brain.
All right. Hello, Trash Dragons. My name is Chris, Trash Dragon of the West. That is my guitar, Mr. Blankenship.
Hi, Mr. Blankenship.
He says hello back, and he's not feeling too well. And says you should like, share, and subscribe, and reminded me that I play on, or I sell on Discogs and eBay, mostly medium.
And I'm Katie, and I'm Trash Dragon of the South, and I sell mostly clothing and accessories, but I'm always on the hunt for anything super sparkly, super unique, and spooky.
Yeah. And I'm Joe, Trash Dragon of the East, and I celebrate all of you, and I sell a little bit of everything, and if there's a lot of something, that's what I really like doing. I like getting a lot. Like, I get the more of it I can just sell, either in bulk or alone, the better. It just activates something in me. My brain just starts tingling when I see an industrial sized box of nails or ball bearings or something like that.
Yeah.
He Sale-a-Brates your inner light. Any updates? What do we got? Anything?
My update is I'm about to make my. Well, in theory, I still have details to finalize, but I'm going to be making my first ever trip to Nantucket to deliver art.
To Limerick, your way through the town.
Hey,
home of the Limerick.
Hey, you heard this one before? Yeah, it's going to be me.
Sir?
But
don't walk away.
Fun fact about Nantucket: if you're getting there on a cargo van, you have to pay $600 for the ferry to get there.
Wow.
No.
Yes, $600. Actually, I think it's $660 round trip. So
you get the money back after you on the way back, or no?
No, it is yes, Katie.
What if it's a minivan?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what the fee is.
Would it be cheaper for you to literally rent a minivan, take the middle seats out, and transport?
It's too much stuff. I would have to make 2 trips. So, yeah. Believe me, I've thought about every possible way, shape, and form of saving money on this, and I'm just like, I'm at a loss.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's terrible.
We're going to move on to our next segment, which is the thing that brought us joy. The thing that brought you joy. The thing that brought us joy. Who would like to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah, Joe, take the reins.
So
I like your moxie.
I don't know. I can't call it a tip. I got Dave, who is a former treasure hunt winner from the show. He let me know that there was that there was a house where they were going to be getting rid of a bunch of stuff, and so did I want to come out? And I was like, yes. And then I was like, I am so freaking busy, but I did it anyway, and I'm really glad I did. Got to see Dave and Maria, which was lovely, and I got she had ended up getting rid of a lot of stuff anyway already, but I did have a lot of paperbacks, a lot of I try to keep. I'm the sort of bookseller in a vintage store that tries to keep sections. So I have a science fiction and fantasy section, a supernatural or a paranormal and true crime section, and so on and so forth. But I've been getting kind of thin on the science fiction paperbacks lately, and so I was just a little worried about that. But I found a whole bunch of stuff, including a whole fistful of Doctor Who paperbacks. And I looked some of them up. They're not super valuable, but Terrence Dick apparently he wrote, the author just wrote a ton of them. I've got 2 duplicates, but I've got the variant covers, as they say, with
that's funny.
Doctor Who and the Seeds of Doom in both green and blue titles. Whoa!
Which one's better?
with a Harlan Ellison introduction. So yeah, kind of crazy.
No.
It's just a lawsuit that he's filed against the author.
Did-
You stole my idea, Harlan Ellison. Forward.
I
I
can't.
didn't even know those existed.
Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. I remember they had these at the some of these at my library, but I never really saw that. I'm always great. I'm always, when I think about my small town library, I'm always very grateful about the sheer volume of offbeat books they had. Yeah.
I mean, libraries are really like just an amazing place, and also one of the few places you can go that you're not expected to spend money.
Yes.
And it's kind of just like, oh, it's a thing for you. All it is a gift.
Mhm.
Like the government is just like, hey, do you want to read? Read. Generally,
Also, if
also-
you haven't downloaded the Libby app, do that immediately.
I just did that a while ago.
It's awesome.
It is great.
Yeah.
You can get ebooks, you can get audiobooks, you can get
Yes.
movies, you can
You
get
have magazines.
magazines. Yeah.
Everything. So many.
You
things.
can look up Guitar World magazines and find guitar tabs on there, they're hard to find these days. So, Katie, what do you got for the item that brought you joy?
Oh, did somebody ask for more boots? I thought
Yes.
that Joe's mom said specifically she wanted more boots.
From the boots from the pretty
No,
lady is what she
From
said.
my selling bin, these are exceptional metal toe,
Ooh,
again made in Italy with leather stars.
Ooh.
wow! Yeah, when you get
Oh,
closer, I was just like,
nice.
those will look great. And then you see the stars, and you're like, oh
Yep,
no!
they are gold rimmed
Yeah,
and they have leather stars and little brass tips. Hopefully, and little brass backs.
okay.
Nice.
They're very cool. They're from the 80s. I
What
really
are the
like
tips
them.
for? What's the
Fashion.
It's just fashion. It's not for kicking.
No, it's actually for work in the warehouse. So if a pallet falls on your feet while you're wearing
In
it,
style.
yeah.
These
Yeah.
boots are made for fashion,
you
and
think-
that's just what they'll do.
Yeah, you like, yeah, here's the cowboy boots for the factory worker. Steel-toed cowboy boots. Yeah. Those are very cool.
They are
And
amazing.
They're
I'm
very cool.
I'm going to predict you have made Joe's mother very happy.
We could do this for months.
Yeah,
Just a parade of boots.
Mom?
Now you've done it.
Call me when you see this. Give me a call.
Only she can put a stop to it. So otherwise, they're going to keep a coming.
Just
But
or
watch out.
please, if there's another mom out there with a request for Katie, let us know.
Let us know. Because otherwise,
Otherwise, like, she only listens to mothers. She doesn't listen. For God's sake, she doesn't listen to me.
this is now the Das Boot series. This is the Das Boot portion of.
that means boat.
I know. But that is also what some good friends of mine have come to
Call you.
just call. Yeah.
Fraulein Boot.
Well, it's also what happens when my mother lovingly refers to shoes that make your feet look very large as gunboats. And so it sort of works.
Yeah.
It's like, what are those gunboats? And they're
I-
just me in combat boots. And I'm like, my feet aren't that big. But apparently they look ginormous, which don't care.
As
Don't
as
care
you
at
should-
all.
Yeah. No, it doesn't seem. It
I'm
seems to.
beautiful.
My feet
And-
are what it's what God made my foot.
That's right. Okay. What do you have? What brought you joy, Chris?
That is a great question. So I think last week I talked a little bit about the amount of things that I got from a mutual friend
Yes.
who's becoming we're starting to hang out, and he's becoming a friend of
Good.
mine. He's a good dude, and but he gave a bunch of graphic novels, which I showed off last week. But he also gave me a bunch of CDs, and he started with a bunch of box sets and Dusty Springfield box set.
Wow.
Is something. It's more just a reminder of that. I think Dusty Springfield should get a lot more love than I feel like she does. Like, everyone
Correct.
knows "Son of a Preacher Man,"
Mhm.
but I remember finding Dusty Springfield. It was live in London, and it was just it's a 2-record set. Every song is great. She kind of does this kind of big band R&B soul, kind of 60s style in a great way. And obviously has a great voice, but she had I think she just is someone who needs to be more looked at again, sort of in the Hall & Oates, Tom Jones. There was another thing that he gave me, which is really interesting. It's basically a metal box set of Madonna 12-inch mixes. It's like 4 CDs. The box is gold. It says Madonna, like it's a metal box, tin box, record sized, 4 CDs inside with a picture book and info insert. And each CD is a gold CD. So I don't know if you guys remember in the 80s, there was a push to make like gold. Like they were like, this is the true sound of high fidelity was gold. So they printed a bunch of CDs that were gold plated. There was like gold plated guitar strings for a little while. And the gold plated CDs are actually worth quite a bit of money because it's usually they were like, we have to make these the best sounding things to really sell this, but no one really bought into the whole gold sounds better thing.
The upside of it is if they really were gold, one of the problems that CDs have is CD rot because the aluminum oxidizes,
right.
But gold won't oxidize. So
let's move on to the next segment, which is Unearthed Treasure. Unearthed Treasure. Unearthed Treasure, we are back. The topic is dogs/wolves. And I was telling Katie that I had a very specific idea of what I wanted to do for this one, and I cannot remember what it was. So now we're going to go. Katie wants to go last. Joe went first last time, so I will go this one. And what I have is a shirt that I made years and years ago. This is a dog of mine named Zelda that I put on a shirt.
That's adorable.
Hi, Zelda. I remember Zelda.
Oh, Zelda.
Yeah. Zelda and Joe never quite got along.
Yeah, but that's fine. I mean, not all dogs like me.
Most don't.
I find that difficult to believe. I find that really hard.
All of my dogs seem to have a weird thing with Joe. Like, I don't know. But it was like, they're all like kind of Chihuahua mixes, and Zelda was like a Chihuahua Dachshund. And for some reason, we were trying to figure it out. And they were like, oh, he's too frantic, And so Joe would just sit there like very rigidly waiting. And then, but if he did anything, the dog would go kind of crazy at him. So
what can I say? I'm a Pisces.
So Joe, why don't you go?
Well, it's going to be a short one because it's just a.
Is it Francis M. Dirg, who's what used to be on your lap?
He was on my lap, but then he started getting squirrely on my lap, so now he's just sort of pacing around. I think he just wants to investigate.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm actually scratching him with my.
It's called Sherlock. That's why they call him Sherlock Bones.
Well, actually, in our dog mythology in the house, Carmen is a dog detective called Nancy Dog Detective.
Nancy Dog.
Nancy Dog Detective. Like Nancy Drew.
Nancy Dog.
So Sherlock Bones is better. Anyway, go ahead.
Sherlock Bones is very good.
It's pretty good. But I'm not going to call. But that's not Carmen's name. Carmen's name is Nancy Dog.
It's Nancy Dog.
It's Sherlock Bones.
This is not going to end well.
He's not.
You don't really.
Say it's Sherlock Bones, Joe. Just say it's Sherlock Bones.
It seems like you don't feel emotionally supported during this podcast.
Well, there's always bullying going on in one direction or another, but that's fine. There's
that's the secret sauce of the show. But called out bullying.
There we go.
Well, anyway, so I'm just going to show what would an episode of Show and Sell be without a reference to Charles M. Schultz's Peanuts? And so here it is, little Snoopy plush. Tick, 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 tick. It's not particularly old, but it was a bins find. My sister has a mandate to pick up any if she finds my Midwest picking team. My Midwest picking team has a mandate to get any like decent plush she finds because they could picking through the plush pile could be a little less frantic than going through the clothing. So she got this, and I am probably going to take it in this week. I don't know what the price is at because it is pretty new, but it is a pretty, it's a great, it's a Snoopy. It's great. What more could you ask for?
I feel like people pay top dollar for Snoopy. I'm not going to lie. I don't see a lot of cheap Snoopy items out there in the world.
They do pay a lot. I mean, Snoopy is still wildly popular. They do pay a lot. In fact, I was just making more like punching more Peanuts pins.
Oh,
And I'm trying to find. This is probably one of my favorites. It's a Lucy saying "learn things."
That's brilliant. That's great.
Yeah,
that's really good.
Oh, also two other things. One is Lucy saying, Charlie Brown in the piano before he says, "Beauty is only skin deep," and then Lucy responds, "I have very thick beauty." Classic Lucy. And then
very relevant for today.
I like that.
And then
you just change the other K to a C.
Thick, yeah, THICC. And then Linus, he's being made fun of for his blanket, and he says, "I am the Count Dracula from Transylvania."
Oh, that's brilliant.
Which I really like because I've never seen. Yeah, I've never
Those
seen.
Are good.
Yeah, these are good. Like this feels like a whole new opportunity, like to kind of like just very bespokely pull out moments from Peanuts that kind of seem to.
Yeah. Where are you getting those? Where are you getting the print?
Beat up paperbacks, ones that are just too beat up to sell.
I'll send you. I need to send you that because I have a few that are in rough shape, but they'd be perfect for something like that.
Yeah, that's what And
I have quite a few. So, Joe, do you have more pins? Sorry.
No, I'm done. I'm done with pins. I'm
just very,
not emotionally, but just logistically for now.
Yes.
One of my favorite consignment malls in Bowling Green in Kentucky. Sometimes I go in there. They have really good prices. You can get furniture at a good price. It's good. And then they have the whole basement level is people booths, like Joe's consignment store. So that's where I'm trying to get my mom to sell, but she's ornery. And by ornery, I mean, she says they haven't called and told her a booth is available when they have called. So ornery. Yeah. She's scared to do it.
She's got a snake in her boot.
Could everyone please encourage my mom to do a consignment booth? Regardless, sometimes when you walk into this store, you go to something and you say, "I don't care what the price is. I'm buying it immediately."
That's how you get good deals too. I don't care what the price is. Oh.
No. Listen.
Okay.
Listen.
Okay.
This is a corgi tapestry.
Yeah.
As if Who Let the Dogs Out needed to be answered. That's the response to it.
Velvet.
Oh my gosh. I just broke my whole thing because I was so excited.
You broke your whole thing.
Sorry, say it again. That was what?
It was a bad Baha Men joke, and it does not bear repeating.
It was a good Baha Men joke. It's just kind of, you can only go so far with that.
Yeah. That is amazing. That is
amazing. Excited. And it was $14. And I was I would have paid more than that because it was coming home with me.
Yeah.
Because there can only be one. There may only be one. I don't know why this was made. It doesn't matter. It's a corgi tapestry. And
it was made for you, Katie.
And my mom said, "Are you sure?" And I said, "Yes, I'm sure." Then Oliver walked in and saw it and he goes, "Oh, that's great." So and I was like, "Yeah, that's why we got married because this is great." And
you recognize it.
Perfection. And now we have to find a place to hang it with dignity and pride. We don't have a corgi. We do not own Cornelius yet. We have a lot of cats and I have a lot of outdoor animals happening. So I'm busy, but eventually there will be one that comes along.
Have you spent a lot of time with corgis or are you just kind of passionate?
I've done a lot of research on corgis and I know that they need to run.
So we're going to move on to our next segment, which is, Joe?
Tales from the Flip!
Tales from the Flip. Tales from the Flip. All right, Tales from the Flip. This is a Joe suggestion. What is your pet peeve when you are a secondhand buyer?
Overpricing.
Oh, Oh God. Yes.
Overpricing. So that's my first, like the first thing that comes to mind when I think of that question. And this would be for something that I know is not. It might be at the correct price, but it's not. I can't flip it, right? So,
Yeah.
or it's just you think this is much more valuable than it is. It happens. It happens quite a bit in clothing. That people, the clothing is just very specific, right? So not every. Sometimes it's valuable because of the material, but sometimes it's just not. It just, you can't. I would not expect these star boots that I showed earlier. I would be annoyed if someone had $100 price tag on these, even though
In a
maybe,
thrift store, yeah, specifically.
yeah, or at any sort of resale store. That's
Yeah.
too high. That's way too high.
I mean,
But yeah, that's my biggest. People overvaluing clothing.
that's why I don't go to vintage stores, because it feels like everything is just way too pricey.
I have a hard time in vintage stores, and Oliver's always surprised. And there's one store here that's very, very good. I believe it's called Black Shag, and it's one of the best vintage stores I've ever been in Nashville. And the reason that I think it's good is because they have a highly curated selection, and they have very, very good vintage leather, vintage fringe that's priced what very good vintage leather that's in good condition should be priced at. And then they have I believe it's by artist vintage rock tees, by artist, and then by year.
Oh,
And
wow.
whoever their pricer is has got it right on the nose, because it's all too expensive for me, but it's absolutely correct. I'm not even mad at it. I'm like, no, that's worth that. Yeah. That tracks. It's a bummer, but yeah, I want all of it. But anyways.
I specifically get mad about that when it's at garage sales. I think I've told the story about going to a garage sale and they had vintage t-shirts and they were great, but she wanted like I remember like there was a Talking Heads shirt and she wanted $300 for that. I'm like,
no, come on.
What and I don't think she had the ability to take credit cards or Venmo. Like it was just like, do you think I have $300 in cash on me at the year 2023?
That's wild.
Yeah.
Or people that think repros, like reproductions, are vintage. That's hard too. And then price those up. That's
right.
rough.
If you're done, Katie, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
Which is it's a little bit different, and it's kind of like when you're in a thrift store, and I feel like this is the only place you really experience this more like frequently, which is people singing along with a radio.
Oh, that's funny.
They're not singing to themselves. They're singing at kind of like low singing volume.
Yes.
They're like, do you like pina coladas? It's just like, this is weird behavior and it seems to only really happen in like thrift stores, I find.
Yes.
And it's just like, oh no, why do you think this is okay?
It sometimes happens in like Big Lots. I've experienced it in like a Big Lots, so like a discount grocery place sometimes. But definitely, I know exactly, and especially in Los Angeles.
Right.
And I think that's people maybe hoping to be discovered. It's always been my thing. Because sometimes they're good singers. And I'm like, oh. The only exception I'll make is if you are a gospel singer and you are singing in harmony to the song that is being played at a low volume, I will probably follow you around the store because that's very fun to me. I like the harmony.
That feels very
like you're a church singer and that's what you've done your whole life. That's awesome.
That feels very Nashville specific though.
Yeah, maybe.
I've never run into someone singing gospel songs.
No, I'm saying it's like a type of singer. So it's someone that sings harmonies in church. And so when a pop song comes on, they do that technique to a pop song. It's very, very delightful to hear.
Yep. Gotcha.
I want to hear harmonies on Poker Face. Yes, I do. Thank you.
Fair enough.
That's good.
Joseph.
Well, but my ultimate pet peeve, and this is really stupid, and it's so petty. It's not even an ultimate pet peeve. And it's less about behavior or like the behavior of the store or behavior of the customers. But it's like if I buy or this applies to yard sales as well. If I'm buying, I'm going to take the book out because it's better to illustrate with that. Like on DVDs, when you buy a new DVD, they often have stickers at the top that seal the DVD and stickers on the side. And what really bugs me is when people don't bother to peel the whole sticker off. They just kind of like crack it open. And so then they just have like a sticker on there. And I'm just like, and it doesn't really, it's not hard. It's annoying. It just bugs. I'm just like, how can you live like this? It's just like treat your physical media with some respect. Just give it if you're going to do that, you may as well just carefully, if you want to preserve it, just carefully peel the whole thing off, which doesn't make sense because they're just pretty generic and stupid. But that's my pet peeve, and I know it's dumb, but I hate it. I hate it so much.
That's like the perfect example of a pet peeve. So it's something so insanely specific to you that drives you crazy.
Yeah.
And it's a great, like, this should be in a class of, like, how do pet peeves work?
Also, I had just flashbacks to opening CDs. Also, I think maybe you just said you hate people with ADHD because that leaving the tape on feels like I'm just gonna open it now. Listen, right now.
I have ADHD, and I think I'm respectful of other. My fellow travelers deserve the respect. So
okay,
I also just have those like. I don't have a whole lot of attention to detail, but that's just one of them where it's just
that's just one where it's peel the whole thing.
Yeah, peel the whole thing.
Can't stand.
Yeah,
I understand that. I understand.
That is...
You would have hated all my CDs, though. I also did not mean, by the way, to besmirch the ADHD community. It's just I have been made fun of multiple times from how I open packages that I receive. If I can't figure it out immediately, it's not great.
Yeah,
it's like a barbarian.
I still have to, like, I had to retrain myself because I would open, like, potato chips. Like, you just take the bag and you kind of pull it open from the top. And if you do it right, it's fine. It just kind of opens up nice and neat. But there's always a time where you just forget your own strength. And all of a sudden there's this pink potato chips.
Yeah.
But guys, I think we just potato chipped the hell out of this episode.
Freedom confetti.
10 potato chips, I would say.
Fireworks. Confetti.
Everywhere. Fireworks. And so let's... we did it. Let's do the song that everyone loves. Thank you for watching. Don't sell. If you remember, like to subscribe. But if you don't, everything's gonna be alright. And if you do, things are gonna be a little bit brighter for us. There's an algorithm controlling all our lives. Thank you for watching. ShowAndSell. If you remember, ring the bell. Good job, guys. Thank you, everybody. Everyone.
Thank you, short sellers. We love you. We like you a lot.
Be mime.
Yes.
Be mime.
Sorry. It's terrible.
Hey, thanks for coming, everybody.